to close this out, I could have gone a couple of different ways. And actually, coming into the pod, I was going a different direction. I have audibled since we hit record. I came in thinking I was going to talk about Quinn Ewers and why this year is a prove it year, not necessarily on his own back, but because the infrastructure that's built around him will force him out if he's not successful. And then honestly, Trey, in your opener, you talked about how we were picking guys that, people were off people's radars and well, we hadn't really gotten to see them. And so I went, okay, you know what? We're going to go a different direction here. So
Arch Manning.
So, a little known guy. He comes from a tiny private school in New Orleans, Arch Manning. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. No, we're going to go up to Stillwater, scroll down that article I wrote, and I had a lot of fun putting this together because not only is he a local kid, but his story makes you want to see him succeed for the Pokes. If you have not heard of Alan Bowman, let me introduce you to him. Formerly superstar at Grapevine High School, was very, very successful, set the Grapevine school passing record in 2018, I believe, his senior season. Goes to Texas Tech. Is supposed to be the next great quarterback under Cliff Kingsbury. I don't know if he's come back from Thailand or not, but anyway, we wish Kingsbury the best. Shout out Cliff. Bowman starts out really successful at Texas Tech. And I mean, it looks like the Red Rocket 2.0, right? I mean, he's got the flaming red hair. He's a good looking kid. People are anointing him Texas Tech's Andy Dalton. And then he just can't stay healthy. He suffers a punctured lung 6 games into the season. He breaks his collarbone the next season. By that point, Kingsbury's out. Matt Wells is in. Now they're running an entirely different offense. Now we've gone away from the air raid. I don't know what we're doing under Matt Wells, but it's not winning football. So he transfers out. He goes to Michigan. Again, I don't really know why he went to Michigan, considering at that time, Cade McNamara was the starter. You have 5-star all-world talent, J.J. McCarthy on board as well. So at this point, Allen, who has not been able to stay healthy at any point in his career, is for sure at best the third-string quarterback. He gets into 1 or 2 games up in Michigan in extreme mop-up duty, but again, still not the healthiest guy up there in Michigan. Now we're on his second transfer. We're down at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's quarterback room is empty. They have Gunnar Gundy and I'm forgetting the other kid's name who is like quarterback 3 now on the depth chart. But after Spencer Sanders gets hurt, quits on the team, injuries galore for the Pokes, there's nobody home, right? And Oklahoma State limps to a 6-7 record. They go to the transfer portal. They get Alan Bowman in. This is Alan's last hurrah. Now, for Poke fans, this is kind of not bittersweet, but you're allowed a little bit of PTSD because in 2018, Alan Bowman came in and destroyed y'all. Absolutely lit Oklahoma State up in Stillwater. A 41-17 blasting of the Pokes. Bowman threw for, he completed 35 of 46 passes, nearly 400 yards and a pair of scores. Honestly, it was kind of what Tech's true freshman quarterback came in this year, Maverick, and I'm blanking on his name. But Maverick, what he did, really? No, that's a golfer, but good try. Anyway, it's kind of what happened this year, where Tech came in and nearly stole that away from Oklahoma State. So there might be some, Vietnam flashbacks going on right now, but here's the bottom line. For Oklahoma State, you're in desperate need of an answer at quarterback. The transfer portal wrecked your program, right? Spencer Sanders transfers out. John Paul Richardson transfers out. Mason Cobb is now in USC playing linebacker for the Trojans. Trace Ford, your team captain, and yes, you're right, Baron Morton. Trey, thank you for that poll.
I have no idea where you're going with Maverick. That's why I threw the
well, that's a different quarterback transfer from Texas Tech. I don't know where I got Maverick either. Anyway, Trace Ford, your former team captain and edge rusher, is now wearing crimson and cream for the Sooners, right? I mean, you lost everybody. Alan Bowman coming in, he's not played and started consistently in 2 years, but if he can unlock the magic that we know that Mike Gundy just is able to find, he develops and gets the most out of players better than almost any other country coach in the country, other than like a Kirby Smart or Nick Saban, right? So if Bowman's able to come in and throw for 4,000 yards, I think Oklahoma State has a chance, despite the roster discrepancy. I think they have a chance to win 8, 9 wins. And I would love to see Allen stay healthy and be able to create a little bit more magic in Stillwater. So, I don't feel necessarily as confident in his breakout as I do a guy like DJ Giddens or, guys that you guys have been mentioning, but it's more if Oklahoma State wins and is successful this year, points at Alan Bowman. It's because of this guy. And for that reason, I really wanted to tell his story and put him out there because, hey, Oklahoma State football is fun to watch. You've got a true gunslinger who's back there, who's, hopefully going to take good care of the football and create a little bit of magic up there for the Pokes.
Yeah, the lack of success, I think, just comes from not having the right fit so far, right? But Gundy seems to always get the best out of his quarterbacks. I mean, we'll see what happens with Spencer Sanders at Ole Miss, but look, Gundy gets like everything and more out of his quarterbacks. He makes guys that had no business being any good look like actually solid players. And so even if, even if Alan Bowman wasn't really actually a good player, I still think he'd have some moderate success in Stillwater, being the fact that, yeah, he's clearly got the tools. He's clearly got what you need to succeed at quarterback. I'm really excited to see what he can do at Oklahoma State, especially, the thing that we've talked about a couple times in this brand new look Big 12. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who the top teams are going to be. Seems fairly wide open. I think most of us would probably say that TCU does not repeat the success they had last year, at least not to the same level. And so you don't really know what's going to happen in the Big 12 at this point. I'm really excited to see what we could get out of Oklahoma State. And again, Alan Bowman, who, funny enough, guys, I think we actually picked 4 out of 6 of our guys here are DFW high school athletes.
How about
There
that?
you go.
How about that? Hey, listen, the recruiting hotbed that is North Texas, I think it's statistically the hottest recruiting bed in the country. There are more 4 and 5 star blue chip recruits that come out of DFW than there is any other general area in the country. So love to hear it. High school football is great here in the state of Texas.
Yeah. And on Alan Bowman, too, I would love to see him make a comeback just because I feel like so much of his potential was robbed from him from just injury after injury after injury, like you highlighted. His time at Tech, every single year, I think he would have made this breakout candidate list because he burst onto the scene as a freshman at Tech and had put up a ton of numbers and just could not stay healthy to save his life. So he has the talent, he has the experience in this conference, and I'm excited to see if he still has that magic, like you said, Mitch. I think if anybody's going to get it out of him, it's going to be Mike Gundy.
Well, and not little injuries either, right? I mean, a punctured
Right.
lung.
Just gruesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The broken collarbone, he got up and you immediately knew, oh, that's it. He's done. So, it hasn't been kind of nickels and dimes and tweaks and strains, which make me feel like, okay, we can put a complete season together, right? We can stay healthy. Honestly, you just kind of need the ball to bounce your way. And so far, since he was a superstar in high school, he's had spurts where he was just magical, and then it's derailed by an injury. So, certainly wishing the best for Allen this season. Football is just a little bit more fun, I think, when Oklahoma State is plucky, which is most years, right? I mean, Gundy is a wizard at getting to 10 wins despite the odds. So, really, really hoping that he can do that, and we have fun highlights coming out of Stillwater basically every weekend.
Gracious him! How about